Hi, I'm Helen Adamou, and I'm an event planner. Well, I'm an event planner now. I used to work in the travel industry for 20 odd years, and towards the end of that time, I worked with the music and entertainment industry, and I found myself getting extremely stressed out with the job. It was very high powered, very demanding, and I started to get extremely ill. I had been ill, to be honest with you, in the past. I'd identified something with a family disaster that had triggered this illness, but I'd managed it for quite some years. However, as things were, I didn't know at the time, I know now, but as things were getting worse at work and I was getting more and more stressed out, I was getting more and more sick. And I was backwards and forwards to the doctors, in and out of hospital, on so much medication. And long story short, this is over years, I came to a real bad point in my life where the only way I can describe it is that I felt like I'd fallen into this deep black hole and I couldn't get out. My illness had made me so ill that I could barely leave home. When I did leave home, especially on the train going to work, I'd have complete massive panic attacks and break out in sweat and shakes to the point that people kept looking at me saying, "Are you okay? Do you need us to help?" And I was just in a complete state. I didn't put the two together. And when the doctors basically wanted to operate on me for massive life-changing surgery, at that point, I got to see a nurse who told me that I was going to have to live with a bag for the rest of my life. At that point, I just thought, no, this is not what I want for my life. There has to be another way, I thought to myself. This can't be the only way, even though all the doctors were telling me, well, with all due respect, madam, you've been lucky to get away with it all these years. And I thought, no, I've had it for so many years and I've coped with it. Why is it so bad now? I won't bore you with the ins and outs, but I was on so much medication and I was taking more medication to counteract the side effects. And I got so ill from the side effects, it was just a mess. And I then seeked out my GP, bless him, which is very unusual, said to me, "Why don't you try acupuncture, Helen? Try something different." I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. Looked around, found this woman that I just liked the look of her website, visited her. She said to me, "We'll work together for a year, Helen, and I will change your life. You'll no longer need medication." And I thought, oh my God, all right. So she said, "It's not going to be easy, Helen." I said, "I don't care. It can't be worse than what I'm faced with right now." And true to her word, a year we worked together. But what I didn't know is that, yes, I had Chinese medicine and acupuncture and everything, but the biggest thing I then worked out was it was my head that was causing this. My negative mindset, the environment, the stress that I was putting myself under work was what was actually causing me to open up wounds inside my body and make myself ill. That's not easy to deal with when someone tells you you're doing it to yourself. You don't really realize it, but when you realize that you are doing that, you can turn it around. And it took me a while, and the panic attacks, I cannot even tell you. She said to me, "When you're having a panic attack on the train, Helen," she said, "just send me a text." I said, "But sometimes I'm on the tube and the mobile doesn't work." She said, "It doesn't matter, just send me a text." And I thought, what's that going to do? But I then realised that actually you're taking the focus off of what you're panicking about and you're doing something else. I must have sent her about 30 text messages. Didn't actually send them, but by writing them. And every week I'd see her, she'd say to me, "So you didn't need to text me?" And I felt like saying, "You probably had about 15 texts this week." But I didn't actually send them, because by directing my mind away and doing this, that's all I needed to distract myself. So it was empowering but also a little bit scary to realise that our minds control pretty much everything. Yes, of course, we need the heart to beat the blood and everything around the body, I mean, all of our organs, but our mind is what controls things. And I realised that, and I turned my life around, and I came off all medication. And when I finally went back to work feeling better, I then decided I don't want to do this anymore, and I quit. And my entire family and friends around me thought I had gone crazy, because this was a good job that I was in, but it was slowly killing me. And so many people don't realise that. So I walked away and became this event planner and turned my life around. And yes, I'm not going to lie that this whole COVID pandemic has been easy, because it hasn't. And there has been days where I've been completely stressed out for other reasons that I can't necessarily control. And again, I had a reminder, because I started to feel some of those old feelings of the illness, and I thought, no. And I talked myself around, or I'd go out for a walk, or I'd pick up the phone, or I'd have a Zoom call. And I have to say, Zoom has been a lifesaver throughout this period. And I chat it through with friends of mine and family that I'm close with and everything. And I changed my mind, and I realised, I knew it anyway, but it 100% confirmed it to me, that how it is that our minds control things. If your mind is in a good place and in a positive place, good things happen. If you're in a negative, down place, bad things happen. And I am a walking, talking example of that, to be honest with you. It's no coincidence that I know of cancer patients, I'm sure you do, and other diseases as well, that the doctors have said to them, you've got 6 to 8 months to live, and they live 8 years, and the doctors cannot explain it. That is to do, I'm 100% believing, with their thinking, no, I'm going to fight this, I'm not going to sit and let you go. And that's why they last longer. And it is all to do with our minds. And that is one of my biggest things that I'd like to help other people, because when I was in that black hole and I felt that there was no other way, and all the doctors were telling me, you have no other option, I want to be able to share that with some other people, because they could well be in that same position of thinking that there's no other way. But actually there is. It isn't easy, because it takes a lot of working with yourself and your mind that doesn't happen overnight, because these are habits we've created. But I tell you what, it is jolly well worth it, because I have got my life back, and I have never looked back since, even with this ridiculous pandemic that we've got going on and the tough times. Never looked back. It is all about trying to help ourselves, and the whole control thing that I've said before in other, that's a lot to do with it. And it's about you finding what you can control in your life. It may be just tidying a pile on your desk. Whatever it is, it's about finding something that you can control, because some people, you can't control what's happening around you, you can't control with other people, you can only control yourself. And it's about finding whatever it is. Mine was cleaning. But whatever it is, it's about just finding that and thinking about it in another way, and trying to turn things around. So there you go. That's my little story for you. I hope it can help somebody out there. And by all means, reach out to me. It's Helen Adamou. I'd be happy to help. And funnily enough, I have spoken to quite a few other patients of my friend's clinic that were at the start of it and couldn't believe it's possible. And I've spoken to them and said, just keep going, because you will get there in the end. It's a hard thing to do, but it is well worth it in the end. So thank you very much.